Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the program which is with the theme of reflections of faith in the plain of Ashura. So we are looking at the sermon of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, which he delivered on the eve of Ashura. And we will continue, and the reason we are looking at this sermon is to really come to terms with and try to understand that what sort of faith Abu Abdullah and the ashab of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam that made them that strong, how this faith was reflected, where this actually faith stems out from, what is the source of it, what's the root of this. So here is the sermon on the eve of Ashura. أثني على الله أحسن الثناء وأحمده على السراء والضراء. So we kind of pointed out to the difference that is between thana and hamd. It's a very fine difference. It's quite important that we know the difference. And brothers and sisters, the way Ahl Bayt spoke in terms of the eloquency, in terms of the fasahat and balaghat, which they say, the words that they use, the sentences that they form, is fascinating, is amazing, and there's a purpose behind it. Obviously, when a person who is wise, who have wisdom, when he speaks, every word that he chooses and the way sentences are structures have a meaning to it. And the same way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran as well, it's the same mantiq, it's the same logic, right? So here, people of this path, people who are the lovers of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, it is very much required to pay attention to the words and the sentences and that the Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam is using. So أثني على الله أحسن الثناء وأحمده على السراء والضراء. So here hamd is on the level of the dunya, thana is on the metaphysical level. Now he is even thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at a time where he is suffering. Ala sarrai, in the time of joy, and also at the time of turmoils and difficulties. That points out to that harmony of faith, that points out to that balance, that if a lot of good joy is given to a person, doesn't make any difference. He is normal. If he is suffering, for example, something is taken away from him, doesn't make any difference. It's normal. He's at the level of hamd. He's at the level of thana. Now here, for example, very contemporary example, Imam Khomeini, when he was victorious, when he was returning back from France, they asked him, how do you feel? Normal, nothing, not a big deal, right? But when is this? This is after knowing that the real player, the reality behind all this is nothing but God. We have a call, and we'll take this call and we'll come back to this because it's quite important, because Imam Khomeini, one of his secretary mentions this. Yes, we'll take this call please, and then we'll come back. Yeah, we'll take this call and we'll come back to this point. Okay, it's gone, and I think you can call us back. I will continue on this. See, when Imam Khomeini was in Iraq, what happens was that they came and complained to him, and they said, this is what's happening in Iran. So Imam Khomeini says that people are with me. People are with me. And after 13 years, when his secretary, says that, you remember I told you when they came, the delegation, and they say, we'll take this call and we'll continue the story which we're mentioning in regards to the Imam. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I have a question, but I want to ask you just Persian, no problem?
That's not a problem. Bismillah. بفرمایید.
ببخشید، من سوالی ازتون دارم. میخواستم بپرسم که این زیارت عاشورا آیا حدیث هست و از طرف کی هست؟ آیا از طرف پیامبره؟ از طرف امام سجاد هست؟ اگر امکان داره راهنمایی بفرمایید ممنون میشم ازتون.
حتما. من فقط این سوال ترجمه میکنم، بعد اون جواب هم به فارسی میگم، بعد اون رو ترجمه میکنم به انگلیسی اگر اجازه هست.
خواهش میکنم. خیلی متشکرم.
The question was asked in regards to the Ziyarat Ashura, whether this Ziyarat Ashura is a hadith or is it from Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, or what is it really? It is a tradition or what? What is the source of it? این زیارت عاشورا حدیث قدسی هست. حدیث قدسی مستقیم از طرف خداوند متعال به معصوم داده می شود. مثل همونجوری که مثلا حدیث قدسی پیامبر مثلا حدیث قدسی داشته به معصوم بوده و ایشون داده شده. خب این نقل حدیث قدسی که زیارت عاشورا هست از طرف امام صادق علیه السلام به ما رسیده هست. امام صادق بیان فرموده که این حدیث قدسی است، یعنی خداوند متعال به پیامبر داده و این رسیده به امام صادق علیه السلام. پس این source of this hadith of this ziyarat Ashura is from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. The answer was that this ziyarat Ashura is a hadith Qudsi. Hadith Qudsi means that God recites it, God sends it. So the source is God himself, and it is given to the Prophet directly. It is, it is expression of the Prophet. A Prophet expresses it, Prophet says it. There's Wahi and there's Hadith Qudsi. So this Hadith Qudsi is delivered, or it comes from God to the Prophet, and Prophet dictates or Prophet mentions it. And we have this Hadith Ziyarat Ashura from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Imam Sadiq is the one who have taught us this Ziyarat Ashura. Now, I hope امیدوارم که این سوال جواب داده شده، ولی بازم اگر سوالی دارید شما میتونید تماس بگیرید، در خدمت شما هستم. و من ادامه میدم همون صحبتی که داشتم از امام. میگفتم آقای صانعی فرموده بودن که وقتی که امام تو عراق بودن مثلا ایده‌ای آمدن و کامپلین کردن علیه شاه و اینا، ایشون گفته بود که مردم با من است، همینجوری گفت مردم با من. بعد از اون ایشون دیگه تو عراق تبعید شدن، مدت طولانی میخواستن زود برگردن ولی نشد، طولانی شد. بعد فرانسه رفتن و اینا. بعد از اون ماجرا که تو تهران آمدن و به آقای صانعی گفتن، تو کتاب هم آورده، رفرنس این کتاب هم هست، گفتن که 13 سال من تبعید شدم برای این یه جمله که گفتم مردم با من است. یعنی خدا را حساب نکرده، گفت یعنی مردم با من است. برای اون 13 سال من تبعید شدم. خب تنبیه شدن یا مثلا خدا متعال مثلا اینجوری پاسخ داد. برای همین گفت وقتی که از هواپیما برمیگشت از فرانسه گفت که چه حسی دارید؟ هیچی حسی ندارم، انجام وظیفه. خب what I said was that because the lady was probably watching that show, that's why I mentioned in Farsi, sorry to our viewers. Because I said, Imam Khomeini said that when he was in Iraq, for 13 years, I was punished for saying this, that people are with me. I should be remembering God, not the people. I should be remembering God. Not that, my power that I have is not because of the people support me. It's not democracy like as such. It is God who supports me. That's why, I have some sort of place here. So therefore, Imam Khomeini, he mentions that to Ayatollah Sanei, after Iraq, my period in exile was extended. From there, I was sent to France. From France, when I was there, then eventually he's returning back now, right? He came back in Tehran. After a while, he mentions this, that I was kind of punished in a way, my sort of mission was delayed because I relied on the people rather than I should be thinking that God was the one who is supporting me, you see. So he rectified it. When he rectified, and because of that sort of watchfulness, muraqabeh, because he is watching what he is doing, right? That's very important, right? So after that he rectifies, he corrects it. When they ask him, what do you feel? Nothing. I don't feel like my people have supported me. I'm victorious. I'm returning back. I feel nothing. So here, what I'm trying to draw a line here is trying to point out to that whatsoever a person have, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is Allah. It is His qudra. It is His power. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. When Imam Hussein is taking Ali Asghar to the camp, he moves forward. He says, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Then he is La hawla wa la quwwata illa. He moves forward, he moves backward. 7 times. The impact of the shahadat of Ali Asghar was very, very powerful on Imam Hussein's heart. It wasn't easy for a father to take 6-month-old in this way and deliver it to the mother. It was so powerful. Although Imam Hussein alayhi salam have kissed the severed hands of Abbas, although Imam Hussein alayhi salam have pulled the spear out from the chest of Ali Akbar, although Imam Hussein alayhi salam have attended or have lifted the pieces of the body of Hazrat Qasim ibn al-Hasan, although Imam Hussein alayhi salam have brought the bodies of Aun and Muhammad, the nephews of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, although Imam Hussein alayhi salam have attended to Habib ibn Mazahir, the long-lasted friend of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, although Imam Hussein alayhi salam have attended to all of the other shuhada, right? But when he was taking the body of Ali Asghar, it wasn't easy. His feet were trembling. It was not easy. 7 times moving forward, 7 times moving backward, saying Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un, saying La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So that quwwah, that power is from God. So now, at a time where he's suffering, he's saying, it is from you. If you look at the dua that Imam Hussein alayhi salam recited on that early morning of Ashura, it says, the dua, Allahumma anta thaqati fi kulli karb. This is how the vision of Imam Hussein, the tawheed of Imam Hussein. He says, Bar Parvardigar, dar tamam ghussaha wa anduha, to mahal ittika wa etimad man bashi. The place of my ease and peace and relief and release, you are the source, O Allah. Early morning of Ashura, Imam Hussein is reciting this, right? Dar har giraftari wa shiddat to mahal umid man hasti. In every difficulties, no matter what I face, it is you, O Lord. You are the one who is my assistance. It is you. So taking Ali Asghar, it is la hawla wa la, that quwwah, whatsoever has happened, it is inna lillah wa inna. But at the same time, when Imam Hussein alayhi salam was fighting, and when he was fighting and conquering Karbala, he goes to the right wing of Ibn Ziyad forces. Heads were flown out in air. It was like locust, as the journalists report, that when Imam Hussein cuts the marches of the army, cuts them open, heads were tossed in the air. This is Hussein ibn Ali fighting. He goes to the right wing of the army, conquers the land of Karbala, places the spear. He says what? After putting that spear on the ground, marks it with the spear, he says, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Then he goes to the left wing of the army, conquers the land of Karbala. He was conquering the land after land, to the extent that the army of Ibn Ziyad was hitting the walls of Kufa, from Karbala to Kufa. He was conquering, and he was marking it with the spears. What was he saying? He was saying, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. If it was you and I, we are in a match, we are in a ring of a boxing ring, we are fighting, we fight, right? We knock down a great champion who is fighting us, we will feel so powerful. It is me, who have done that. Some sort of ghurur, some sort of, strength. But it is not for Hussein. Hussein is saying is nothing but Tawheed. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. That quwwah and that power, it is Hussein who is fighting, right? This power is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not from me. I'm nothing. He's counting himself as nothing. So here it goes that, this khutbah is very important, pointing out. Then he says, now here says, Allahumma inni ahmaduka ala an akramtana bin nabuwa. Look what he's saying. Look at the iman. First, in terms of that tawheed, that immaculate, sublime tawheed of Allah, that spotless tawheed of God, that spotless belief of God, that is seeing nothing but that oneness, which we said that tawheed zat, tawheed asma, tawheed af'al, the fail of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that vision. Why not be the case? Why not be the case? Why not be this tawheed? This is reflected beautifully in Dua Arafah of Imam Hussein salam. Allahu Akbar. Look at the dua, how Hussein is reciting. He says, Bika araftuka wa anta dallaltani alayk. What is this? What is Hussein saying in the plain of Arafah? Bika araftuka, oh Lord, I recognize you. Wa anta dallaltani alayk. I recognize you because you, anta dallaltani alayk, because you showed me. He's not saying Bika araftuka ya Rahman, Bika araftuka ya Rahim, Bika araftuka ya Kareem, wa anta Kareemun. Or for example, he's not saying wa Rahim dallaltani. He's not saying you are Rahman and Rahman, oh Rahman, you have showed me. Not by names. He's not using the attributes of God. He is not using the attributes of God to know God. He is knowing God by God. The best of ma'rifah is knowing God by God. Araftu billah, knowing God, by God. That is the sublime and the most amazing way of knowing God. What is Tawheed? Amirul Mu'minin Najul Balagha, he clearly says that, negation of qualities. You get rid of all of the qualities of God, then you come to Tawheed. It is you and I trying to comprehend God through the asma, through the names and attributes. We say God is powerful. Now, how are we calculating God power? In the strength, the muscle power, the engine power, the horsepower, or whatever, we say that God is powerful. He's that is power. So we have some sort of imagination of this power. And our imagination is not going beyond this imagination that we have of power. We could only see power in terms of the muscle, in terms of the... And then we say that God is powerful. That means that He can do whatever He wants and He is powerful. Right? We are limiting because our imagination is limited. When we say Qudrat Khuda, when we say the power of God, it is beyond this human imagination, the power of God. It is something else. It is something else, right? Knowledge, the same way. We are thinking the knowledge in terms of how He knows, the way we know He knows. But the way God knows, what is that? Aqrabu ilayhim. I am closer to human being than his own jugular vein. What is that? What type of knowing is this? Right? So our understanding of Tawheed is by the by our limited sort of comparison. Then we say that God is this, right? But Bika araftuka wa anta dallaltani alayk, that is knowing God. Bika. It's not, Allah as well. Allah is the mother of all names, which contains all of the asma in it. But Imam Hussein is not even saying or suggesting that, Allah here is saying bika. It's that zamir is there, right? So this type of person would have such a resolve on the day of Ashura. This type of person will be only able to do such an uprising, which is the Qiyam of Ashura. This type of day will become La Yawmuka Yawmuka Aba Abdullah. Then the respect and the honor for such a person would be Ziyarat Ashura. Would be that vision. Now I will have only 5 minutes left, and I will, I wanted to answer this, but I thought, this would be a bit of a deeper sort of understanding of Ziyarat Ashura, which I didn't want to mention. However, now a few minutes left, I will just mention this. This type of person would be addressed like, Azamul musibatus jamiyus samawat wal arz. This type of sacrifice, the killing of this person will become Ziyarat Ashura. It is God who is reciting that. It is Allah who is reciting that. And he is mentioning to the Prophet. So Prophet had that vision of those kamalat. And Prophet mentioned that, Hussein, this is what will happen to you in the plain of Ashura. So when Prophet saw that, Hadith Qudsi means that, it is inspired, it's been sent by God to the Prophet, and Prophet mentions it. Wahi is exactly the same word to word from the Lord to the Prophet, and Prophet delivers it exactly. Hadith Qudsi is an inspiration, is a mukashifa, it is a witnessing of the reality where God shows the Prophet and Prophet expresses it. So Prophet says that I saw you, O Hussein. This is how it will happen. That's why, when Hussein was born, heaven and earth cried. Don't we recite the dua of Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam that we recite in the month of Rajab, in the month of Shaban, in the month of Shaban, on the 3rd of Shaban, we recite that, a child on which, the heaven and earth cried when he was born. Why is that? Because that Hussein will be sacrificed in that fashion, because it is that Hussein who have that unique, spotless understanding of Tawheed. It is that Hussein who have this amazing Iman and faith. Not only that he has, but he has delivered that to his ashab, and he has delivered that to us. And we are understanding the Qiyam of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. We are trying to understand the reflection of that faith in the plains of Ashura, right? Trying to understand that faith and that Iman. What sort of Iman these people had? What sort of individuals these people were, that spotless Iman that they had, and where this Iman was based. What was the source of it? This Iman was based on that Tawheed. So the Qiyam of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is a Qiyam Tawheedi. It is that uprising. The reflections of the faith on the plain of Ashura is a reflection of Tawheed in the plain of Ashura. That is why it becomes Ma Ra'aytu illa Jamila. That's why it becomes that beautiful, because it's reflecting that Iman, because it's reflecting that Tawheed. That's why it is Jamil. That's why it's beautiful, right? So we take your leave now. Inshallah, we will be here next week again on a Wednesday, trying to focus on this very topic. We will be continuing looking at this sermon of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, inshallah, and trying to point out to the reflections of faith, because the next verse is talking about the Nabuwa. Alhamdulillah, he says, Allahumma inni ahmaduka, O Lord, inni ahmaduka, he's thanking once again is Allah, ala an akramtana, I have been honored, by bin nabuwa, by the prophethood. Inshallah, we'll look at that in our next program. Goodbye tonight, and we hope to see you again. Fi amanillah.